Hello, podcast listeners, and welcome.
Podnas.
Not quite LucasArts has been reformed. It's now Lucasfilm Games. Lupus. It's never Lupus.
It's not Lupus.
They've got the niche of violently murdering fascists, which I'm all for.
But a new one. I want a new one with fancy graphics and in-game purchases and DLCs.
Hello, podcast listeners, and welcome to the Video Game Chat podcast, a podcast talking about games, tech, and other nerdy goodness. I'm your host, Geordie, aka Geordie Wiz, and I'm joined by my pals and co-hosts, Rob, aka Rob Coxey.
Hello there.
And Gary, aka N-Dash.
Hello there.
We hope you enjoy our podcast, and if you like, please share the podcast to a friend or a loved one, and get them to follow us on Twitter and Instagram at VGC_podcast and to join our Discord community. The links are in the description and or bio. So guys, how have we been since the last episode?
Yeah, been alright. Been battling off whatever chest infection I had the other week. And,
Lovely.
But yeah, other than that, just getting back into work. Now everybody's back and that's about it. Not much has happened, has it?
No, not much, to be honest. I've been working a lot. Not really doing much else other than working and earning money. Just now I'm in a job that I quite enjoy now, so
Which is good.
fun.
Makes a change.
Yeah.
Gary, how about you?
Same for me, really. Like, busy start to the year, which is positive. Usually it's kind of quiet, but we've actually got quite a lot of work on, which is good. I'm very happy about that.
Good stuff. So, what have we all been playing this week? If we've managed to pry ourselves away from our 9 to 5s and get online and play some video games.
Working DMCA.
Well, we've been playing a bit of Siege on and off, really, haven't we, with the Swedes and Ant.
Yes.
Me, Gary,
on and off.
me, Gary, and Ant have been playing a bit more Star Citizen every now and then as well. Just jumping in, doing a little bit of trading and teaching Ant the ropes and trying to get some things working that then don't work and then other things happen anyways. But you know, we had quite a fun time on that first one, just showing Ant the ropes, didn't we?
Yeah,
we all
like
just
the
piled
first day
into the
that we
ship
played
and
it.
yeah. We only did like one mission, but you know, we taught him like how to fly, take off, etc., do missions, use the star map and things. It was quite enjoyable.
And he picked it up very quickly. I think Ant is a very quick learner, a very, very quick learner. Shout out to our friend Ant. Because he's picked up Siege really quickly. He's picked up Star Citizen really quickly. We've thrown so many games at him, like Hunt as well. They're not like they've got like a very steep learning curve, and he's doing pretty well. Which
I would like to learn things that quickly. Just that'd be nice. And yeah, other than that, I've just been jumping into a bit of Red Dead every now and then just to do some dailies and a bit of wandering when I just don't really know what else to play. Still very relaxing, still very nice, still very good fun. And, you know, one of those ones that I want us all to jump back into at some point. But, you know.
Is that on the online or just single player?
Yeah, online. I've not really been tackling the single player because, again, I kind of like having that sort of aimless, I don't really need to do anything at the moment sort of atmosphere that online brings. Because at the moment, you know, everybody's a bit bummed out still. It's still a bit of a shitty post-Christmas lockdown lull, really. And I don't know whether I've got the energy for really sticking to quest lines and plot at the moment. So more sort of loose, open-ended sort of experiences and quick death matches and things are more up my street at the moment, I think.
How has the online fared since the sale of the singular online mode on Steam and that for like $5 that you can get?
Still packed with players and things. It's just they've you know, they coincided that with the update for the Bounty Hunter where they added there's new legendary bounties that they're still adding, you know, in weekly rotation thing that they're then going to add to just the list of the legendary ones, but they've also added like unique bounties as well that are like across. There's one for like each sort of region, each town and things that has a bounty board they're like a multi-part bounty sort of story thing. Like the one in Valentine has you hunting down members of a cult. So there's like 3 bounties to do for that one and things, and you can repeat those when you've done them as well. But, they're quite unique. They're quite interesting. But other than that, there wasn't really a lot added. There was the ability to paint your bounty wagon or something. Some of them cost an obnoxious amount of gold. Things like that. So, it kind of pissed off the community a bit because, again, it was put more gold in to continue doing more bounty stuff. And the stuff you'll unlock also costs more gold sort of thing. And it was just a bit of just trying to get more cash out of everybody sort of thing. And
shortcuts.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, it just doesn't feel like a substantial content update. And there's not another patch due until like March, I don't think. So people are a bit like, can we just have some substantial content, please?
It's like a catch-22, really, isn't it? Like, I feel like they don't make any money from it because no one's playing it, but no one's playing it because there's no content. But they need to make content which costs them money. So it's like this fucking trifecta of things that will ultimately, if they don't put more content in the game, it'll just end up like many of the other games that we've played, and they die.
I mean, it'll still be good fun. It's just I like having new stuff to do and more to do. And I know we haven't actually finished off the story missions that are available, but apparently the story's not complete.
Oh,
like, there was still more to come story-wise, sort of thing that they'd said. Like, it doesn't wrap everything up by the end of what's available currently. And that was something they were going to expand on as well. But nothing yet. So don't know where that is, what the progress is on that, or whether they're actually doing anything on it at the moment. But it would be nice if they sort of let people know. Like, if it is some part of like a massive content update, and everything that we have been getting has been like little things that we're getting in the meantime, as opposed to, this is going to be like the next part of Red Dead sort of thing. It just feels a bit left out at the moment, which is...
Well, I guess like GTA 5, when that came out, that had fuck all to do on GTA Online. And they did introduce things, but they were quite big updates, which I think is the difference between GTA 5 and Red Dead 2, is that the updates that they've done on Red Dead 2 are really small. They're adding,
you also got to think that GTA has also been running for like nearly like 10 years though, hasn't it?
Yeah, but one of the first updates that GTA did, aside from all the fixes and like patches that they did, I think
was heists.
Relatively substantial. Yeah.
Like, because everybody there were just, we're doing this mission, new that mission, new missions with this guy, new missions, but they weren't huge. And then heists came out, which was massive. But yeah, Red Dead does feel a bit lacking in that department. And it's not exactly a case of, Rockstar don't have the money, because again, like, GTA Online's made them however many billion every year or whatever. It's a stupid amount of money. It's not like they don't have the money to put into it. Like,
I think it could also be because Red Dead's such a set in stone timeline, they can't do like the ridiculous shit that GTA can do. Like GTA like had the thing where it was like, we'll introduce biker gangs and selling drugs. Okay, and now we'll introduce fucking flying motorbikes and DeLoreans and fucking...
bank heists that ultimately don't actually have any severe consequence on your game at all. You just did a bank heist and you're fine.
Yeah.
Like Ocean's 11.
Yeah. Because, I mean, there's still plenty
stuff
of room.
Like that, it wouldn't go down in Red Dead.
But I mean, like, there's still room for, like, cattle rustling, like, ranching stuff.
Farming simulator?
Yeah, essentially, there are going to be people that would do that shit. Stagecoach robberies, there's all those horses in the wild, catching them, selling them sort of thing.
More of a morality system we were discussing
heists,
as well.
Being a sheriff or straight up illegal stuff as well, being an outlaw, more stuff on that side of things that can then play into each other. So, there's plenty of room for stuff to do, as well as, again, you could do some slightly more nonsense stuff, especially when it comes around to like Halloween. Like you could do essentially like a big Undead Nightmare update sort of thing. And have that as that would get me back on Red Dead for like the longest time. Yeah, did. If they got Undead Nightmare in Red Dead Online, that'd get me back on playing that a lot more. Just because them Xbox 360 vibes of playing Undead Nightmare.
I think they should concentrate on doing that, because I feel there's a huge market of people that would buy it just for Undead Nightmares.
Yeah,
I never got around to playing the first.
They'll only ever release it around Halloween, so it'll be in like 8 months. It'll be 10 months until it comes around.
That was part of the very disappointing Halloween that we had this year in Red Dead, because people had been finding zombie models like in the past few updates and things leading up towards Halloween, and people were dead excited for it, thinking, they're going to do like a big Undead Nightmare. Like, even if, like how for Christmas they just make it snow across the map sort of thing. If, like, over the course of Halloween, you just added in a bunch of zombie NPCs and stuff, changed the color of the night sky and things so it was creepy, or it was like constantly nighttime, but like a blood moon sort of thing. And, you had to do regular missions and stuff, but there were just zombies everywhere making your life more difficult, or add in a few. They could have just done that and kept it as part of like the open world, but they did it as it was a one sort of time limited deathmatch mode thing, where there were enemy NPCs kicking around as well, who all had guns, but they were zombie models. And I was like, why add in zombies if you're just going to give them fucking guns? Yeah, they were just regular NPCs, but they looked like zombies. It was really lackluster.
I wonder if they had plans on doing Undead Nightmare, but they had to reel it back because of the pandemic, and resources were kind of fucked.
Potentially.
So we'll see. Maybe they'll release it November this year.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
Not November. October. Sorry.
October.
Yeah.
We knew what you meant.
But for me personally, I would prefer to have Undead Nightmares not time locked. I just want them to add that as an entirely separate game mode. When you load up the launcher,
hell yeah,
you can play that. Like zombies aren't just for Halloween.
A bit more importance to like your campsite.
Dogs not just for Christmas.
Your campsite and like the survival elements of it and stuff, and just add lots of zombie spawns and have you and your mates just running around. Like, again, like Geordie, you loved Undead Nightmare. All the like missions and stuff were essentially like helping people like prepare and fight the moth and things, wasn't it? And like barricade places and supply runs for that sort of thing and stuff, as opposed to, it wasn't really a complete rewrite of any of the in-game mechanics that were there before in the main game. It was just the sort of context of it all was changed. It was deliver supplies to these guys because they're holding out sort of thing, and things like that. Help these guys hold off waves of enemies, except the enemies this time are zombies as opposed to armed goons. It was the same game. It was just they are zombies attacking now sort of thing. And, that shouldn't be too much work. I mean, I say that.
In the grand scheme of things, it's not. I mean, feel free to correct us if we're wrong here, Rockstar, but in the grand scheme of things, you've got the base work done. It's just changing animations, creating new character models, making new weapons, air quotes, and I imagine claws would be air quotes, which, it is a lot of work, don't get me wrong, but, you've done the engine, you've got all of the mechanics pretty much sorted. Seems doable, especially with the money they have. But I wonder if they're also, aside from the whole pandemic thing, I wonder if they are also putting a lot more resource and time into GTA 6.
Possibly. It could be possibly that they're doing GTA 6, yeah.
Yeah, they probably got a retainer team on Red Dead 2 because it's not making them any money, to be honest, because they're not making any content.
Well, they're not making any. It'd be Red Dead Online content they're making, not Red Dead 2.
Sorry, Red Dead Online content.
Yeah.
You know what I mean. But I imagine the majority of the team that worked on Red Dead 2 are now on future projects, which could be GTA 6, it could be a Bully remake, it could be any of the other LA Noire, it could be any of the other Rockstar games.
True.
Maybe they're doing a GTA 5 VR because they did LA Noire VR, which rhymes.
Did they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
LA Noire VR.
It's LA Noire case files or something, VR case files. There's like 8 or so missions from LA Noire that have been remade for VR. And it looks quite good. It's just always been, it's a much more condensed, cut down version of LA Noire. But it's always been quite expensive, which is why I've just never bothered getting it.
Yeah, like when you have a condensed down version of a game that you've already made, but you've just adapted it for VR, Skyrim, even though that's not condensed, that's basically the whole game, and you're paying £55 for a 10-year-old game that's just kind of badly ported into VR because, let's face it, the Bethesda engine is really smooth
and known to just work.
Just work, yeah. Which is great in single-player games. In VR, maybe not so much.
Also, Gary, speaking of Skyrim VR, there's a mod that's come out just this week. I'm just trying to see whether I've still got it open.
Please tell me, before you say it, please tell me it's Skyrim VR together.
No, it's not. But it's proper grabby hands in VR.
Oh.
So, like if you can properly pick stuff up now with your hands on your index controllers.
That's good.
Yeah. And say you've like grabbed a bottle or something, your hands will be like properly gripping like the neck of the bottle or something as well. So it looks more immersive as well as actually feeling more immersive. Whereas before, even with like quite a heavily modded Skyrim VR that like I was running, it was still just press A to pick things up, and you did the sort of weird levitatey grip thing like you could do in flat Skyrim. But yes, now there's a mod out that's working with the current beta version of Skyrim VR IK, but it actually lets you do grabby hands, which is quite nice. One sec, I will just find the name of it.
I will get around to playing it.
Hand interaction and gravity gloves for Skyrim.
Gravity gloves?
Yeah, you can do like the straight up Half-Life Alyx, like grippy pull, come here thing.
Oh, fuck. Oh, I like that.
I'd send you guys a link, but the Nexus Mods host is down currently.
No worries. Well, I have yet to play and install Skyrim VR because I still have Skyrim regular version installed and loads of other games on my hard drive that I have yet to still finish. I will hopefully play Skyrim at some point.
Also, I did see for regular flat Skyrim, there's a split screen co-op mod for PC as well now.
I just want them to fix the Skyrim together.
Because I would very much like to play it with you guys and just...
I would love to play it.
Yeah, I haven't played Skyrim in fucking ages. Any other games you guys have been playing?
Oh yeah, we were talking about that, weren't we, Jody?
We went off a bit of a tangent after the Red Dead conversation, but it flowed quite well, so it's fine.
Yeah, well, we might keep that in, we might not. Who knows? We'll see what happens in the cut.
I played a bit of No Man's Sky last week, which was really good.
Oh, yes, you got me that for Christmas, Jody, and I still want to play it at some point. I loaded it up for the first time on PC, and I got confused as to what to pick. So when we all play it, we can do it all together so that all the settings are
I'd definitely say it'd be more fun with us all playing together because I played with Brendan and we jumped on, and as soon as I joined, he joined me and was like, okay, just follow me to my planet. And it sort of broke my game a little bit, like, because he's learned how to like jump between sort of universes and stuff. So I couldn't get to the starport that I was told to go to because it wasn't in the correct universe that I was in, and I couldn't like jump between the universes with the hyperdrive because I didn't have it yet. So I ended up having to restart, go to a port. And like basically start again, but it's really good. It's like obviously trying to put it into sort of survival, like there's harsh weathers, environments, and stuff like that. So when you start off, you're always on like a place that involves you needing to have some sort of shields or protection from the offset. So like I spawned on this like toxic oxygen planet, and it was like I had to fill my shields up with like sodium or something to make it so that I could breathe the air properly and not die. All your main tasks are all done while you're like trying to scavenge for supplies to keep yourself alive whilst doing everything. And there was like times where I died and had to restart. Then I got to a poison planet, and then I got to one where there was loads of enemies trying to attack me all the time. But it's a really pretty game. Like some of the planets you can go to are really pretty. All of the like interaction with like NPCs and stuff like weird because they all speak like a weird different like language, and you have to learn the like words for like trade and help and cargo, so that you can talk to certain people like traders and market sellers and stuff like that by using the words that you learn from each of them, essentially. But it's quite cool. The starting ship I got was decent, and you sort of make yourself like a little base. It was pretty good. I didn't really get much into the sort of deep depths of the game, but just to start off and have like a little bit of an exploring game is quite good. And but the VR in it is like the controls in VR are a bit janky.
Oh, really?
It looks really good like in VR, but sort of using your inventory and stuff like that in VR is a bit weird. So I'd recommend probably if you want,
it's one of those games that's all menus and stuff as opposed to interactive.
Essentially, yeah.
Can you use it with a controller instead of the VR controllers rather?
I think you could.
It's probably optimized a little bit better for that, I would imagine.
Yeah, but then when it comes to like being on foot and shooting and hand mining and stuff, you're just going to be locked, I guess, to where you're looking.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah. But no, that's been good fun. Playing. Oh, I say played a lot of it. I played about 8 hours, I think. It was like two evenings worth of going around and looking at different planets and finding out all these.
Tell you what, Geordie, I'll get it installed just now.
Yeah, it's something we could try out the weekend or so, just to have a little laugh. I did find a couple of bugs, like where I was trying to change my outfit and stuff, and then I'd spawned underneath the map, and then my character was just like constantly there as like a separate entity in the world, and then when I left the world and came back, it was still there. It was really weird.
Nice. That's pretty funny.
But it's one of those things that I assume it's just a little bug happens. But
it is what it is.
Yeah. But some of the screenshots I've seen of like other planets and stuff look really, really cool. Like underwater planets and just like the dusty planets, and some with like all these big like spider walkers and all the different types of ships you can get as well. Like, there's so much stuff that I've not got into, like trading and actually doing missions for like the little aliens at the starport and stuff like that. I basically just got on, found a world that I liked and started building a base, as I always do in sort of games where there's base building. So, but there's it was definitely worth the purchase, I believe.
I'm looking
also
forward to playing.
Also been playing a little bit of Apex as well.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, played a little bit of Apex with my friend Moat, who's been on the podcast, all the low end. Made a couple of games of that, which was really fun. And the Moat and the Nevena guys also started their own Ark server. And so I've been playing more Ark this week and getting into that, building bases and taming dinosaurs and running away from bigger dinosaurs. Yeah, that's been a good load of fun. Sort of at the level now where I want to decide to sort of go off and tame myself like a proper big dinosaur. But it's quite difficult because it's just the weather and stuff like that in that game is just so like unforgiving.
Hmm.
And it's all about where you put yourself, and where everything spawns is just
Is it procedural?
No, so the map is a map that's always been there as a map, and but the way the dinosaurs spawn and stuff like that is there's like certain areas where alpha dinosaurs can spawn, which are like super hardcore, high level versions of dinosaurs that you can't actually tame, and they basically can like destroy your bases if one gets close enough, sort of thing. So we've had a couple of like close encounters with some alpha raptors, which are probably the least of your worries when it comes to those sort of alpha dinosaurs. I think it was the second day we were on the server, we were attacked by an alpha raptor and a thing called a Therizinosaur or something. It's like a big bird-looking dinosaur with these massive claws, and it basically killed all of our dinosaurs that we had outside of our base, and then started hitting our base. But we were obviously base is quite tall, so we all managed to jump on top of it and just start shooting down at it with bow and arrows. And I think there was 4 or 5 of us all just shooting arrows at it, and we eventually managed to kill it. But
nice.
like, we lost all of our dinosaurs, so it was a bit of a shit situation. But we managed to sort of not all die and not all lose our shit. So we just lost a load of dinosaurs, which you can always replace. Like,
yeah, it's not like they're extinct or anything.
Oh yeah, exactly. Yeah. Dark.
Close encounters of the dino kind.
No, yeah, Ark is a really good laugh, and I reckon you guys would enjoy it if you came on and played a bit. It's very, especially on this server, because this server is like the only PvP is done like within a group of people that I know. So if it is PvP, it's like fun, light-hearted PvP. It's not like the sort of PvP where you'll lose your whole base and all your dinosaurs, sort of thing.
Sort of like it was on Minecraft.
Yeah, a bit like Minecraft, yeah.
I would like to give it a try. I was going to download it, but I completely forgot. Have
you got it?
Yeah, I think I got it on Epic for free, and I got all the DLCs, the free LCs, as I like to call them. Hey.
Free LCs,
Way.
Yeah,
I'll see myself out.
But that's pretty much all I've been playing this week, other than a bit of Siege with you guys still. About you, Gary?
Yeah, Siege. Quite a lot of Siege, actually. I think I've surmounted about 40 hours of Siege over the past 2 weeks, which is quite a lot. I've basically been living and breathing Siege. Played some Valorant with...
we did play some Valorant, well, yeah.
With the new operator, which I'm sure we'll discuss coming up.
Mm-hmm.
Which is fun. I haven't played the new operator, but Geordie has. And then we played a new game, Underlock, as well, which was like a new kind of asymmetrical survival horror game, similar to Damned, I guess would be the easiest way to describe that. And if you don't know what Damned is or Underlock, there's four survivors, I think.
Yeah.
Four survivors and one hunter or enemy. And basically the enemy has different abilities and you have to kill the survivors before they escape. And the survivors have to escape by finding all the keys and opening loads of doors, which then you find more keys to then find key codes, enter those key codes, find more keys, get to the end, basically is the whole premise of it. It's a lot more fun than I'm selling it to be, but Underlock was early access. So we played it for about an hour and a half, I think. We each got a turn as being the hunter, and it as it is early access, there's a couple of like balancing things that need to be sorted out. But overall, I mean, I had a lot of fun playing it. I think Brawl had a lot of fun, and I think the rest of you, like Rob, you weren't super impressed, but I think it's more because
because it's just super early at the moment, and a lot of stuff needs balancing. Like I was a monster that could not move if seen by anybody, and there's no like blink mechanic or anything, so people can just completely lock you in place. And it was just I don't know. I kept being
to be
seen
fair
through
as well,
the occasional wall, round corners and things. I was just like, oh, for fuck's sake.
I think you took it too seriously, though, Rob. To be completely honest, as you do with a lot of things. Like,
thank you.
You know it's true. You know it's true.
I am a sweat lord, yes.
You did still win, though.
I did eventually, but
We
after
all
lots
won.
of being trapped at the end of the corridor, unable to move.
Yeah, like none of us as the survivors won. The hunter thing always won. So
that
even
ghost one was super OP, I think.
Yeah, the ghost one's really OP, and the kind of Weeping Angel style one,
Angel mannequin, yeah.
I guess that is. Oh, it's OP, but also underpowered as well.
In like the more condensed maps, like the hospital, it's really good because obviously there's a lot of pillars and things in the way that even just that brief second of losing sight of you lets you move again. But and whereas the map that I was the flathead or whatever it's called, the mannequin thing, it was just so open. Like when you guys were a good like 250 meters away or something down like this massive lengthy open corridor. It was a long fucking corridor, Gary. But like,
it was a long corridor, but
it was long enough to the point where I don't think you guys could even see me at the other end of it. Like you were, if you were looking, you didn't see me. But like you'd turn around or something, I would just be like,
yeah. There's a couple of, like, I think there just needs to be a bit of tweaking with both the player side and the hunter side. I think once that's sorted, it's going to be a really incredibly fun game. I mean, I had fun playing it as it was.
Oh yeah,
but
and again, we didn't really get it just to be a clone of Damned, because again, we've already got Damned. We bought it because it's also VR, but we haven't had a go at VR yet. So we need to do that and have an actual try of it and see how it plays.
Yeah, because it would be good to try it in early access as well in VR, so that hopefully we can give some feedback and hopefully make the game even better. Because the one thing that I think all of us said at the end of it was it has a lot of potential and it's going to be terrifying in VR as well, which I cannot wait for, especially when the fucking ghost just floats through the fucking doors. It's gonna be so panicky.
And in other VR news as well, with the Pavlov World War II updates dropped.
Yes, that's a good segue, Rob. I guess that's a good place to move from a game that we've played into news at the same time.
Indeed, yeah.
Do you want to go with them, Rob? Or?
Continue with the World War II update, Rob.
Yeah, Pavlov, everybody's favourite VR Counter-Strike game, has dropped a massive update. Not a huge amount of people actually. Massive free update, yes. That's very well worth saying. That adds the Russians, the Germans, and the US as 3 new World War II based factions, along with weapons for Germans, Russians, the British, and the Americans as well. A couple of new maps. Well, I think it's 3 new maps have been added. And Stalingrad is a new one that's also quite massive and open for Pavlov as well, as opposed to the traditional Counter-Strike maps, but also adds tanks.
The tanks are so much fun.
Oh yeah, they were really quite fun to play. They took a little bit of getting used to, but when you had the hang of them, the tank combat is really good. I just feel like they do need to up the player cap a bit.
Yeah, for sure.
It's still only 10 players in a server. And when you've got 3 people in each tank, it just starts reducing what's going on. But if they could actually develop that out into its own mode, like
64-player VR mode.
God, if you could do 64-player VR,
I imagine you'll probably be able to do 20 to 30 max. I mean, based off like population 1.
Yeah, to be fair, I wouldn't mind like 24.
24
is there not a 20-player game mode already?
Straight up Tank TDM is a 20-player 10v10.
Oh, fuck. Yeah. Okay, cool. Because the other maps they've added are Bridge, which is just like literally 2 spawn points either side of a bridge, but is a hell of a lot of fun on TDM, Team Deathmatch, for those who aren't
living under a rock.
Well, no, not living under a rock. I mean, living under the
don't play shooter games,
multiplayer shooting game rock. Yeah, I guess. Not judging. But
yeah, that seems pretty cool. I'm definitely gonna have to dust off the old headset and get into some VR Pavlov soon.
Oh hell yeah,
mate! There was one part in Pavlov Team Deathmatch where because you spawn with random weapons in some game modes on Pavlov, and in one of the maps, which one's the kind of is it
Bridge
Mediterranean
one? I can't remember what they've called it, but yeah, there's like a Sicilian sort of map.
Yeah, and it looks really cool, and there's like a lot of doors, a lot of height, a lot of verticality to the map as well. But yeah, we spawned with an RPG, and I ran up a circular stairwell on the outside of a building and saw an enemy, shot my RPG. They had an RPG as well. They shot it at me. Then we both dropped the RPG because it was too long to reload, pulled out our pistol. Both of us missed an entire clip's worth. And then we both dropped the pistol, and I screamed, "Knife! Knife!" And we both pulled out the knife and ran at each other and stabbed each other in the gut and died. It was so fun. Oh, the knifing in that game is incredible.
Yeah. Any other news you guys have got? Oh, I've got some news we can talk about. If not,
it's got that little bit of news. Machine Games have been teased to be creating a new Indiana Jones game for Bethesda.
Yes.
Oh yeah, I did see that.
Which it did start off just vaguely World War II-y, and I was like, oh, you're getting a sort of new Wolfenstein or something. Because it was like, ooh, Nazis. I was like, Wolfenstein.
Basically is though, isn't it?
Yeah. So they've got their niche of violently murdering fascists, which I'm all for. So I look forward to it.
Yeah, I'm very looking forward.
Sorry, Jody, go on.
I'm very looking forward to a Indiana Jones themed game. I love all the films, and I feel that is a world that we could definitely get immersed in and roll out 3 games of 3 different films. Yes, please.
4
different films. Sorry,
we ignore the 4th.
I know the 4th is absolutely shit.
The 3 films that actually are in my heart.
The only ones that matter.
Yeah, essentially.
Did you play Lego Indiana Jones?
No.
That's pretty fun. Good little game.
Yeah, the one thing I did something was quite fun, and on Twitter was that someone had pointed out that when Todd Howard had a interview with Xbox podcast, I don't know if you guys can see on the article that I've linked in the
another podcast, Jordy. We're the only decent podcast, except for the other podcasts that we have featured on here.
The second Twitter link on the article shows that in the background of Ted Howard's office, he actually has the Ark of the Covenant in the top above his head. So, it was in front of our eyes all along that he really loves old Indiana Jones.
And there's also some other fancy franchise news, which is not quite LucasArts has been reformed. It's now Lucasfilm Games. Lupus. It's never Lupus.
It's not Lupus.
Lucasfilm Games, and EA is no longer the sole holder of rights to the Star Wars franchise, which is good. Ubisoft have already announced they're working on an open world game. Fingers crossed, Mandalorian.
Well, I can't wait to become some sort of Jedi who can just climb a very tall building or monument and then synchronize a map and then jump off of it into a bale of hay.
Let me just use my force eagle eye. Yes, I can see there's another area over there which I need to force eagle eye. Let me Jedi swoop over there. Zoom.
Lightsaber hidden blades. Just zoom.
Yeah,
Let me just bring out my DLC lightsaber.
I mean, it brings out like a lot more options for stuff outside of you. EA still have, right? You know, they are still going to be developing Star Wars games, but just not exclusively. So there's obviously going to be like potentially a new Battlefront in future. Obviously, more Fallen Order sequels because they've already said they're working on a sequel for that, which is good because that game was amazing.
And obviously Lego Star Wars as well is coming out.
Lego Star Wars as well. And yeah, I mean, what other games that there have been would you like to see, like, sequels for, you know, reboots, remasters, that sort of thing, now that the license is back out there?
Star Wars, what was it called? Star Wars Droidworks. I'd like to see another one of those.
You know what I'd really like? I'd like an updated multiplayer, like Civ 6 style Empire at War.
Oh, all right. Okay, that I can get behind.
Empire at War was my jam when I was like, how old was I when Empire at War came out? This is something I need to research. When did Empire at War come out?
Siri.
Empire at War. Initial release that was 2006. So that was 15 years ago.
I'm just looking at the screenshots now, and are you sure we're not just looking at screenshots of Halo, the new Halo that's coming out?
Oh, good meme.
Good meme.
Spicy meme. No,
Yeah,
literally.
So you'd like a Civ style, well, maybe like a Stellaris style,
or even
with
a Total War.
The Empire
Star Wars Total War would be great.
A Star Wars Total War. Okay, that I can see that they could do a Total War. I mean, they've done a Warhammer Total War. I don't see why they couldn't do a Star Wars one. That'd be quite fun.
But is it on those Grand Strat? I thought Empire at War was just RTS.
I don't know. It was there was like a galactic map sort of strategy level to it as well. Not as in depth as anything like Stellaris. It was quite baked. It was essentially like if you owned a planet, you know, you could start base building and, you know, producing units on those, and from there you'd then, you know, move over to another planetary system sort of thing, like as part of the map. That would be it. But then
could they ever take over your planets afterwards, or once you've got it, you've got it?
No. Like you could gain and lose them.
It was Grand Strat then.
Yeah, the Grand Strat layer was fairly simplified compared to more modern Grand Strats, but yeah. So I could see that being an area that would be developed, and people are still updating and modding Empire at War as it is already. Yeah, because it's still a fantastic RTS. And actually, that's a really good shout, Geordie. So fair play for that one.
Yeah,
I'm going to be a completely predictable me and say I want new Jedi Knight.
Yeah, Jedi Knight. That'd be pretty sweet.
Because the lightsaber combat in that was fucking amazing.
Mm. I'm still going to say Droidworks.
I've never played Droidworks, so I can't
bring me another Droidworks.
What was that actually about?
It's kind of like Spore, where you make your own droid, and then you have to solve puzzles with that droid. It was very primitive, but I can see how a new version of that would be really fun. Like a puzzle game where you've got to do puzzles that you couldn't have done back in the fucking early PC PlayStation days. Was it even on PlayStation? I don't know. I have no idea. But I spent hours doing customization on the droid. So like you could have an R2-D2 head with C-3PO legs. It was so much fun. Like an R2-D2 head with treads. It was real fun.
Nice.
And I think sometimes they fell over, if I remember correctly, or they just didn't work. And the animations were so janky. It was like really janky, like very primitive coding. But it was fun. I don't know if any of our listeners have ever heard of it or ever played it, but I don't know how I even heard of it or played it, to be honest. Just forever in my memory.
Well, the one good thing about sort of Star Wars and Lucasfilm games still branching out now to other people other than EA, it does mean that EA have now come out and said they're planning to double down on their Star Wars content. So, which means potentially good stuff for like potentially more Squadrons content. Obviously, Jedi Fallen Order maybe more content for that, or sequel, or potentially, or whatever. And Battlefront as well, potentially, maybe getting a Battlefront 3.
Yeah, and I'm quite open for some sort of revival of that old cancelled Star Wars 1313 project that was going to be a big open world bounty hunter sort of game that seemed to take a lot of inspiration from like Uncharted and things from the early alpha footage that we were shown off. But apparently it was going to turn out you were Boba Fett undercover and eventually you'd get your armor back and shit. And the world would properly open up and you'd be jetpacking around hunting bounties and things, but...
I really need to
bounty hunter game would be quite good.
I really need to brush up on my Star Wars intake for the television, just because after watching The Mandalorian and sort of the I know of the extra characters that they brought in to The Mandalorian, and I was like, I know where this is from. I know this is from like the Clone Wars TV show, but when I was like, when the Clone Wars came out, I was sort of in a stage of like, it's an animated show. Like, it's probably not that good. Like, it's probably just aimed for kids. And like, after watching now a couple of episodes of like the first season of Clone Wars, I'm just like, actually, this is really quite good. And it's quite immersing me in the Star Wars universe again. And I'm sort of going to try and get through.
Fills out the prequels a bit and it makes them feel less shit.
Oh, yeah, exactly. It makes the Clone Wars a lot more interesting.
Because I've not watched Mandalorian. I've certainly not watched.
Gary,
the
second season just started really just throwing in expanded universe stuff as well, not just like characters and things from Rebels, Clone Wars, and things, but also the Dark Troopers from Dark Forces and Jedi Knight.
Yeah.
So I was like. Are they going to do it? Come on.
Have they brought in the what is it? Is it called the Dark Blade? Is that what it's called?
That's in like the latest or one of the later seasons of Clone Wars, and there's a whole thing about
the Darksaber. Sorry, not the Dark Blade.
Darksaber. Sorry.
Darksaber. Yeah, and
Dark Blade.
Yeah, that's something I really want to get into and like look in, and the whole series of it. So
it's on Disney Plus, though, isn't it?
Yeah, I have Disney Plus. So
I've got to pay.
Well, Gary, if you would like Disney Plus, I can always make you an account on mine. Give you my login.
Obviously, in a 100% legal manner, of course.
Oh yeah.
I'll buy my own, Jodie. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Say no more. Say no more.
Not like Disney needs the money.
No, they do not need. That's probably the reason why I haven't, as of yet, bought it because. They don't. I mean, I don't have time to watch films or anything anyway. So Disney films are good, but I like you guys know. You always say, "Oh, you should watch this film, Gary," and I'm like, I would love to, but I don't. There's loads of films I want to watch and need to watch.
After watching The Mandalorian, a Mandalorian game to come out would just be very good. I'd much enjoy to be a bounty hunter in the Star Wars universe. That'd be grand. How about you boys?
I think it would be good to have the option to do, basically like Red Dead Online. It's coming full circle, where you have a morality system and different roles, I guess, like different career paths. Air quotes. Don't know if being an evil bastard is a career path, but. We're getting into Star Wars MMO terms now, and what was the? I can't remember the name of it now. It's completely gone out of my head. That's the one Rob wanted. Jedi Fallen Order.
Jedi Knight.
Jedi Knight. Sorry, wasn't that Jedi Knight?
It's not. Is it?
What's that? Sorry, hang on. Oh no, that's Knights of the Old Republic.
That's it. Knights of the Old Republic.
But that is also very good fun, actually, and I think we should tackle that at some point. Because again, it's a full bunch of BioWare stories rolled into one, Gary. So,
which one is the one that you keep trying to get me to play? Is it Knights of the Old Republic or Jedi Fallen Order? No, not Jedi Fallen. It is Knights of the Old Republic, isn't it? Because Jedi Fallen Order is a new one.
Yeah, Fallen Order is the single player one that, again, I would recommend playing anyway because it's fantastic. But I did say, as a group, we should have a pop at KOTOR again. each pick a different class sort of thing and just wang through some story and smash
I'm pretty sure I've still got like a low level scavenger or scoundrel or something.
Point.
I would actually like a Star Wars MMO. I think that would be a lot of fun.
Well, there is one, Gary. It exists.
I know, but a new one. I want a new one with fancy graphics and in-game purchases and DLCs.
Not made by BioWare. But yeah, there's hopefully a lot of good Star Wars content to be coming in the future. That is a nice place to close that off with. In other news, CD Projekt Red came out with a great big, well, when I say great big, a 5-minute video of their co-founder, Marcin Nowinski. I may have completely ruined that name, but
I think it's Marcin
Nowinski, acknowledging their faults and about they probably shouldn't have just released the game on previous gen consoles, and they've revealed a proper roadmap for their future content.
Free DLC.
Yeah, which is fair play to them for giving out free DLC, especially when they fucked up the launch so bad. And
I mean, to be honest, they still made a lot of money, though.
Oh, yeah, they still made a ton of money.
Free DLC's nothing for them, really, is it?
Oh, no, yeah, but it's a bit of a shit show with the fucking...
It was, yes.
Goddamn shareholders.
Yes. I feel like the DLC is more of like a let's try and do something nice to make it not as shit. Probably a PR thing, to be honest, but not complaining. Free DLC for a game that I'm personally really fucking enjoying. Yeah, I'm not going to complain about free DLC for that.
Yeah, the also, free DLCs. Free DLCs are going to come some point in between this year and next year, along with multiple updates and improvements to the base game to get a lot of the sort of game-breaking bugs sort of ironed out,
and the console editions to be a lot more polished.
Yeah, the newer next-gen consoles are going to get a lot more of a polishing as the year progresses. So that is good on CD Projekt Red for getting that. And I'm not sure if it's back on the PlayStation Store yet. The PlayStation Store? The PlayStation Store yet.
I see PlayStations on the PlayStation Store.
Sure, yeah.
Is his last name, because it's Polish, I would imagine, being a Polish company, and he has a W in his name, would it be Iwinski?
Marcin Iwinski.
Marcin Iwinski.
I'd like to think that he's really good at skiing and he always wins.
I win ski.
I win ski.
Maybe.
I don't know who he reminds me of as well. He's got a very recognisable face. David Guetta. That is it, Gary. You are correct. He does look like David Guetta.
When I saw it, because for our listeners, Geordie's posted a link in our Discord. Actually, you should maybe post a link in the actual Discord.
I will. I'll post it in the public Discord.
Yeah, we have a public and a secret hidden Discord for our filth. We probably cut that, Rob.
Yeah, I will.
Yeah, probably cut
for research purposes.
For research purposes, yes.
Yes, I'll post that.
Geordie has posted a link in our Discord, and I didn't read the link or any of the text to begin with. And I saw the picture and I was like, what has David Guetta got to do with Cyberpunk? And then I read it and I was like, it does look like him though, doesn't it?
It does a bit.
Yeah.
I can't for the life of me remember any of his songs off the top of my head either. What did he do?
All I remember about David Guetta is that he was scared of dancing. And he's
he was, wasn't he? Yeah.
Yeah, he had a phobia of dancing, and the reason why he wouldn't play his songs live, or wouldn't like DJ his songs live, was because he was scared of dancing to his own music.
Yeah, because he did a pre-recorded set.
He was scared of public dancing, so he wouldn't play his own music and like dance to it awkwardly. He would like actually have to practice a routine that he'd have to do to his pre-recorded set, so that it made him look like he knew what he was doing.
Yeah.
Something like that. But it's just hilarious.
I mean, to be fair, like you kind of, if you're a DJ, you do have to put on a performance in some.
Oh yeah.
And if you can choreograph it and not have to think about awkwardly dancing, then fair. But it is. It sucks that he had a phobia for dancing to his own music. That's such a shame.
But it's all upper body stuff. Like you don't need to see your legs.
Well, no, but he stood on top of the desk. You know what those kind of DJs do. They just jump about and press a couple of buttons here and there, don't they? They don't. It's all show, isn't it?
Plug your iPod in and press play.
Basically, yeah.
But yeah.
Some bangers that he made, though. To be fair, back in the day.
Yeah, but any other gaming news or anything we've come across this week? No, none at all.
I remember that. Sorry, Rob, cut this, but the David Guetta ends racism video. I remember that.
Jesus Christ.
I forgot about that meme.
So bad.
It was so bad.
Why did he think that was a good idea?
Oh, fuck my sides.
Oh, and one other thing is the... I don't know if you guys have been keeping up with this, but this is something I've had a little bit of a secret sort of liking towards, is that the Hogwarts Legacy game that's coming out.
Oh, yes.
The RPG Hogwarts game.
The RPG one, yeah. I mean...
Wizards only Skyrim.
Yeah, essentially.
Yeah, I'm sure there'll be like wand poking.
There was a big thing about how they're going to have like dragons and like griffins as mounts and shit. But that's been sadly delayed till 2022.
Now, does it give a reason? Is it because of technical shit, or is it because JK keeps being a fucking turf?
Oh,
and they're just like, let's just delay that until all this blows over.
Could be right. So the official statement is, I'd like to thank fans from around the world on a tremendous reaction to the announcement of Hogwarts Legacy from the Portkey Games label, creating the best wizard game possible. Blah, 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 blah. Gaming fans is paramount to us, so we are giving the game time it needs to be. So basically, they're just delaying it. There's no reason for delaying it other than they want the game to be better.
It's probably not finished.
Yeah.
And it could be a bit of column A, Rob, a bit of column B.
Mm. Either way,
it could be a bit of both.
I can only support getting that game for free.
I might buy it because I am a fan of the Harry Potter franchise, despite the author's audacity. I am separating out the two as best as possible because I do still very much enjoy the novels. They were a big part of my childhood.
As they were most people our age, Gary.
Yeah, exactly. And you can't really take it sucks when people who are in a position such as the author to just fucking spout off online, and you don't have to do that. You don't have to be relevant. Yeah, you don't have to always say something. Just shut the fuck up for once and just let it be. Like, just create new work. Done. You don't have to have a voice on everything. Just shut the fuck up and just release something. You don't have to be always in the newspapers. You don't have to always have a say on absolutely everything.
This might need to get a cut, but just think of all the kids that went on Gym or Fix It.
Yeah, that might need to get cut.
Yeah.
I think a lot of this might need to get cut, to be honest, but I would say it's not necessarily because it's Warner Brothers, right, who are making it, or
Warner Brothers Games,
yeah. So I wouldn't necessarily say that it's not their fault that she's deciding to say all this stuff, and they may have had this agreement before all of it came out. Who knows?
To be honest, all the in-game engine sort of renders that they've released on Twitter and stuff look really good.
Yeah.
Some of the stuff that looks like it's been in-game rendered looks like sort of cutscenes from Baldur's Gate style of quality.
Yeah. It looks incredible. Whether or not it is, because I don't think we've seen much gameplay. I think we've seen a little bit, but not much. Remains to be seen. I'm positive for it. I think that it looks like it's going to be good, but
Yeah.
as we know, looks can be deceiving, and the political situation behind this as well is not ideal, and I don't support that. I don't think any of us support it on this podcast. It's completely atrocious. It just sucks that such a franchise is now being
Tarnished.
By
with
his own
that.
water, yeah.
Yeah.
Uh,
Bit of a depressing end.
little bit. But yeah. We,
What have we got anything
know.
fun to lighten the mood?
anything fun to lighten the mood? When are we going to start streaming on Twitch, boys?
Oh god. Oh, when we get around to it.
Yeah.
Shit, we
When we're ready.
yeah, we do need to do that. We've all been very busy.
Yeah.
And
But we did.
the time that we've had, like our spare time that we've had has all been just relaxing, really, hasn't it? We've been just playing a lot of games to kind of. I feel like the way the world is at the moment, you kind of need a break every now and then, right? So,
Oh yeah, 100%. We've had a good year, and we're coming up to nearly the year of us. Well, the birthday of the podcast, nearly. So,
we have, yeah, we have. I was going to say we have an R, and it came out as we are.
oh,
We are.
so I think it'll be next episode.
Yes,
be-
this episode is on the 19th, right? So the next episode is potentially the 2nd. So yeah, I think that is more or less our birthday.
Our year mark, which would be.
Yeah.
We have to do something special next week. Maybe do something special. Maybe just do our normal box standard content that we always push out for you guys. So
Our box
We just
standard,
squeeze
run of the mill,
out another
complete and
turd
utter
for you.
shite.
Yeah.
Yeah. Shit, boys, we haven't got anything to talk about. What should we talk about? Let's just waffle for 5 hours. Cool, got it.
or maybe we could maybe do our best of the year's podcast. Maybe get all the little best bits from all of our previous podcasts, all 25 of them, or whatever it is.
Or if we have enough time, maybe that is a bonus episode, and we record a special anniversary episode and a bonus one. But as we said, we are very, very busy. But we
We're
will
very busy
try and
boys.
figure something out. We will figure something out and make sure that our 1 year mark isn't just a regular episode. We'll try and do something special.
And while we're on the talk of Twitch and stuff like that, if you guys could go ahead and go give us a follow over on our Twitch account, VGC_podcast on twitch.tv, that'd be grand. Because if we can kick ourselves off with a few followers, and even when you follow, well, following's for free. You don't have to pay to follow. Come on.
Guys, you don't need to like hard sell it to people. Fuck it, why aren't you fucking doing it already? God, guys,
Why are you
jeez.
doing it? And also, it will notify you when we go live. So when we do start streaming for the very first time, you can all be there.
You'll be the first to know.
Exactly.
That's how I would have sold it, Jordan. I would have been like, follow us on our Twitter, not Twitter. Fuck, we were there. No, you did it fine, Jordan.
Thank you. I know I did it fine.
You always do it
Because
fine.
I did it.
Because you did it.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, I think that's what we got time for then this week. But yeah, where can we go if we want to see more of our other content? Robert?
You can find me on YouTube at Rob Coxey, and I will also eventually stream on Twitch as well. Also, Rob Coxey.
Gary?
You can find me on youtube.com/n-plays, and hopefully also streaming as well. Probably a bit between twitch.tv/n_, and our VGC Twitch account, which is, Geordie?
VGC _podcast.
Is it underscore on
Yes.
Twitch? Good.
Underscore on everything, Gary.
On everything. I really did appreciate earlier at the beginning when you went underscore.
Yeah, I made sure I said it.
You did.
After forgetting it for the last 3 episodes. And you can also find me probably not streaming on my Twitch, but streaming on the VGC_podcast.
And for those who didn't catch it, Jordy, what is that URL? Do it again. Follow the bell to the
VGC_podcast on Twitch and Twitter and Instagram and all the things.
Oh, also, there was did we mention this in the last episode? While we're on the subject of Twitch, the Twitch emote, was that on the last episode?
Twitch emote? What Twitch emote? What?
They banned the Poggers.
They did ban the Poggers. Oh.
Yes,
Poggers.
because Mr. Poggers did not do something that was very Poggers.
Yeah, that wasn't very Poggers.
That wasn't very Poggers.
That was a heated gamer moment.
Yeah, well, it wasn't even a gamer moment. It was just a fucking...
just straight up, I'm a fascist.
Yeah.
Well, when...
and that's all we have time for.
Well, when we get our own emotes on the VGC podcast chat, VGC podcast Twitch channel, we can all have our own individual poggers.
Oh yes,
for each of us. All 3 of us can have our own pog emote.
Oh yeah, I'm up for that.
So we can have a Gary pog and a Rob pog and a Geordie pog.
Could we have a pod pog?
Pod pog, yeah, that'd be good.
Don't know how we do that.
Yeah, don't know how we do that, but maybe. Anyway,
what we need is we need to start streaming. So
we do need to start streaming. If you'd like us to start streaming, fucking slap us around the mush on Twitter and tell us to get on the streaming.
And recommend any games that you'd like us to play as well. If there's any kind of different form of content that you want to see.
Yeah, we've got a live stream suggestion page on our Discord. If you want to see us live stream any games, whether they be single player or multiplayer games, pop them in our stream suggestions on Discord, and we will get ahead and play them.
Unfortunately, we can't do the 18+ NSFW Steam store page, which all 3 of us we play every single release that comes out. Which is it's a shame that we can't even discuss it on the podcast. Family friendly. It is what it is.
But yeah,
that was a joke.
And on that note,
I feel like I have to say that that's a joke. They might people might take it seriously.
It's definitely a joke. Definitely not true. Definitely a joke.
I repeat.
Anyway,
definitely a joke.
Anyway, thank you all for listening, and we will see you all next Tuesday. Goodbye.
Bye bye.